Hi everyone, thanks for checking out my channel. I'm going to do the usual midweek checkpoint on commodities for what's been very difficult to trade start of the week, especially based on the plans I had that got really challenged strongly, and I had to basically be quite flexible and stick to the plan despite some massive momentum up on a couple of commodities. I'm gonna start with WTI. That's been very difficult because the start of the week has been relatively going to my direction with the first break lower below 40, but it got bought back very quickly and actually ended above the 200 MA. At that point, was watching what could happen, especially on the top of the rising wedge. I did readjust once again the lower limit to make it looking now here sitting around 40, and now we have a perfect rejection candle on the 200 daily MA, and we can see spot on the RSI trend line for another test of the divergence on there. So that's very hard. Usually, even on that kind of divergence, you don't see that lasting for so long. So it's been very resilient and of course very psychologically difficult to trade on the short side, even if on the long side it could edge short position, but still not really highly comfortable. Now what I'll be looking at, should we actually get a close below the 200 MA and confirm that divergence, because this is not done yet? Should we shoot higher, then the momentum could pick up and then we would have to exit that short position, I would say around above 44, but at that point, and given that where the market is and the S&P 500 also having a key divergence, I believe we need a correction before we can move any higher. Might not be a complete reversal, but at least some cool off on indicators to until we actually get back for another attempt to break new all-time highs on the major market. So looking at the targets, was just sitting here. The target is unchanged, so we're talking about 34, 35, which is also the lower end of the gap to revisit, and from there we might see some bounce here. New attempt to go higher. I don't know. We'll have to see what the economic environment will be and where we will be sitting in terms of the production as well. That is likely to ramp up. So the adjustment to 35 is actually normal to account for some increase in terms of the supply, and of course the demand still depressed on many aspects. So that's about WTI. So unchanged for the plan. I'm keeping my short position, except if we actually gain momentum, break above the trend line, go above 44. But otherwise, I'm expecting that trend line to break again. Of course, we're gonna get the 50 MA in a way now, so there could be some support coming at 40. But should we break lower that time without stopping here, then I think the target will be the first one 37, then 34. Moving to natural gas, also had some interesting days. Of course, the bull run has been very impressive, I have to say. I wasn't expecting this, and I missed a large part of that move up, unfortunately. Got triggered also on a couple of short positions, so that was definitely a fail on my side. Wasn't expecting such a move up. Now, looking at this a little bit closer, or actually taking a larger look, we can see that the 50 MA on the weekly chart is still actually capping the price down around $2. So I'll be closely looking at how we closed and that week. We've seen that previously we did actually close above on a couple of occasions. That one here was 2.8. So we could actually close a bit higher, but I believe the pressure will return for a continuation of the move down, and we might have seen today with that rejection above 2.2, that's a critical resistance level. We may have seen some end of move or last sort of speculation moving up for reversal to happen. So it's not entirely done yet. If we look at the hourly RSI, it's badly diverging from here. There's just no momentum. When you look at the last move up here, rejected again 2.24, it has no momentum, and we did break the support line here that we are currently retesting. So depending if we can gain any more momentum retest that level, potentially above at 225, we are likely to see another rejection for the continuation and resuming of the move down. So the target here is quite simple because I think there's nothing technically that we can actually set as a target, but to me there's the first gap to close here at 180, and of course we're still having left that one open at 150. So I believe this is not impossible that we see a major move down following that rejection here. We could actually revisit the low at 150. Of course, not done yet. Should we see any pickup and the momentum on the hourly here, break higher here, that could actually threaten the reversal in place, but I believe this is at that time of the year, early August, still too early to have a bottom on the market and too early for the winter speculation to kick off. So keep close eye on this and definitely be looking at short opportunity here, and definitely not entering long at that level because it's too overextended. Now looking at gold, also very interesting on the 4 hours, we got the first major signal of reversal as well, drop and went up to 2,500, massive bull run, and now we're running out of momentum completely from that point here. Left one gap open again, so that one here. I believe the momentum on gold is that powerful that we're unlikely to break lower. Would expect some pullback potentially to that level, maybe extending a little bit lower and meet the 200 MA somewhere there. That's on the 4 hours, and we could see maybe 1900 slightly below, and then continuation of the move up. I think that will be a very good entry point for long position, for long term. And of course we are going to move much higher. I don't believe this is the end, but temporarily we need to cool off on the indicators, and we need to clear up that divergence as it's just too obvious on the 4 hours now. Same thing on silver, also it's resisting a little bit better, but the divergence is significant as well on the 4 hours here. So we got some rejection on the $27 level, and also here we're having one gap that's not been clearly closed, and I believe 23 is a fair target for that correction. From here there's still a slight chance because of the size of the divergence to go break lower and potentially visit 21.6, but I think it's probably too extended for this to happen. But yeah, we will see. But again, short configuration on silver. And finally, looking at coffee, we got a major reversal candle on the 4 hours here that's been setting a huge divergence on the 4 hours. So that kind of setup is very likely to be end of the swing on coffee and complete reversal. As we can see, we would actually break back down to 112. And from there, can the momentum recover? Well, we will see that, but that trend line here, we would reintegrate quite a long-term channel, overextended a little bit here, bull trap very likely, and now resuming of the trend to move down. Would have played very likely, as we can see the figure here gave a target of originally from the breakout about 116 where I closed my long position, so I missed a big chunk of that move up, but wasn't expecting this to happen. Actually looking a bit closer, we didn't have actual sign of reversal on the 4 hours, so that was clearly a mistake to close here. But at that point here, I believe the risk on the downside is very big. We might see another attempt to make some sort of a double top on 125 before breaking lower. Also there's a very high chance for this to break lower for good and revisit much lower level where we would consider either re-enter a long position or potentially just for myself, not probably shorting, but still watching. So we can see there's a fair bit of room to drop until we catch up with the trend line on the RSI. So I believe that 112 will be the level to watch for either rebound, re-entry of long position, or continuation of the move down. So yeah, that's about it for tonight. Thanks for watching. Any comments, let me know. I'll be happy to discuss any commodity you think could be interesting. Wish you successful trading, safe trade, and I speak to you soon. Cheers, bye.